Welcome to CEO Insights. I'm Marilyn de Guzman with investingnews.com. I'm speaking with Ernest Mast, President and Managing Director of Cygnus Metals. Hi, Ernest.
Hello, Marilyn.
Good to have you. Could you provide us an update on the Chibougamau project, particularly in terms of exploration results and any key milestones that you've achieved?
Yes, well, earlier this year, we announced a drill hole on a structure east of Corner Bay. Corner Bay is our principal deposit with 8.6 million tons at over 3% copper equivalent. And that intersection was over 7 meters at 4.3% copper equivalent. It's a very significant intersection. And so from that hole, we did some downhole geophysics. We identified some other conductive plates, and we've commenced the drill program in the area. Another really interesting opportunity we have is we just did a merger with Cygnus Metals. Previously, we were Dore Copper Mining Corp. And during that due diligence process, the geology team from Cygnus identified some very interesting exploration targets, and we're currently drilling those. And we hope to have some news coming out on that drill program relatively soon.
Right. So let's talk a bit more about that recent merger with Dore Copper. How has that shaped the company's strategy in the copper market, and what synergies are you expecting to realize from that?
So the merger between the two companies closed December 31st, 2024. The merger of the companies was really opportune because Dore Copper in the Canadian market was not getting the attention or the traction that we felt we needed to get. And in talking with the group from Cygnus, they were very confident that our asset placed on the ASX would make us the highest grade copper play on the ASX, and we should see a re-rate, which we did see. And so it now makes the company much more robust in order to move our project, the Chibougamau project, forward. In terms of synergies, Cygnus owns 3 large lithium properties in northern Quebec, the James Bay region, about 150 to 200 kilometers away from the Chibougamau project. And those 3 projects actually are very strategically placed on strike or in the same structure as the James Bay Lithium Project, the Nemaska Lithium Project, and the Conseil and the Patriot Metals projects. And so we have a very interesting lithium portfolio, which will give us value at a later time. Right now, the focus is on the Chibougamau project.
Mm-hmm. So talk about what's your strategy for further developing or improving the economics of the Chibougamau project?
So as I mentioned before, we've identified a number of drill targets, and we're currently drilling those targets. And from that drilling, we expect to increase the mineral inventory to the Chibougamau project at similar grades to currently what we have, which is over 3% copper equivalent. And by adding those projects into the mix, we're going to improve the economics of our project. Another way in which we're going to identify targets was that previously as Dore Copper, we scanned all the historical drawings from the Chibougamau project, and we had about 140,000 drawings. And our geology team was working through those drawings, but at a very slow rate, and maybe we had 5% of those drawings compiled. With the new company, we're actually going to use scanning and AI in order to compile the information from the drawings. And that's going to really accelerate our target identification process. And so that, I think, is going to add tremendous value to our company.
Right. So, as a company that's focused on copper right now, with the increasing demand, and all indications are saying the global demand will continue to increase for copper, how are you positioning the company and your projects to capitalize on this dynamic? And what differentiates your approach from other players?
Well, one of the things we have as an advantage is that our project is approximately 10 kilometers away from the town of Chibougamau. So we have a project which is very actionable. We do not have to build a remote site. We already have access to all of our projects. We have power available to the mill. And so where we stand out is how quickly we could transition from exploration into completing the feasibility study and going into production. A second thing is that we have as an advantage compared to so many other projects is being in the province of Quebec. Quebec has declared copper a critical metal, and Quebec really puts its money where its mouth is. And so we have advantageous structures for receiving exploration credits from critical metal exploration. And from time to time, there's numerous critical metals initiatives that we can participate in. And so that I think gives us a big advantage compared to other projects in other parts of the world.
Right. We'll leave it at that. Well, actually, do you have any upcoming catalysts or any, coming news that the investor community should look out for?
One of the things we recently announced was the reception of Critical Metals Infrastructure Fund funding from the Canadian government, and that's something which we're going to be participating in. But in terms of new catalysts, it's really on the exploration side. As I mentioned, we have 2 drills running, one of the drills running at Corner Bay and another drill running at other deposits in the camp, and we expect to have fantastic news flow from that drilling program.
Right. We're looking forward to hearing more about that in our next interview. Thanks again for joining me today and sharing your insights.
My pleasure, Mary Lynn, and thanks to all the viewers for taking the time to watch this interview.
Yes. And thanks everyone for watching. Join us again next time for another edition of CEO Insights.